Hey there, and welcome back to the Empower Her Business Accelerator podcast. I'm your host, Philippa Channer, and this month we're diving into the key business activities that drive your business success. Last week in episode 182, we talked about identifying the core tasks that truly move your business forward. And today we're taking it a step further by learning how to prioritize those key activities so you always know where to focus your time and energy. But of course, let me remind you, this summer is the perfect time to prepare for a big fall launch. So if you want to refine your marketing, map out your business strategy, and ensure you're set up for the success that you deserve, then the Empower Her program is exactly what you need. Check out the link in the show notes to find the best path for you and to start planning your success. All right, so let's get started into today's episode. Again, how to prioritize your key business activities. It's one thing to know what your most important business activities are, but it's another to actually prioritize them when your to-do list feels like it's never ending. So if you're ever struggled with feeling busy but not productive, you're not alone. The secret is learning how to prioritize the tasks that create the most impact. So let's break it down into 4 essential steps. The first thing you want to do is to identify your high value versus low value activities. So not all tasks contribute equally to your business success. So high value tasks create growth. They generate revenue. They create some visibility for you, while low value tasks keep you stuck in maintenance mode. So prioritizing high value activities ensures you're focusing on what truly moves the needle. So examples of some high value stuff is following up with potential clients, creating new offers, pitching yourself for collaborations. Those are the things that really get you out there, propel you forward, get you engaged, meeting with people, and getting new opportunities into people's hands where people have an opportunity to spend money with you. Those low value tasks, that's spending hours organizing your email inbox, constantly tweaking your website. Confession here, I spent probably about 4 hours last week trying to, ultimately my goal was to streamline my processes for the podcast and how it's distributed, because it does take time. I only have one person on my team who helps me edit my podcast, but I still do all of the actual distribution, preparing all the different elements to get it out there. And so I was like, any way I could find to streamline my process, great. And I use the Libsyn for my podcast. And I was like, Libsyn, I could push the podcast when it goes live. It can go and create a blog post for me, and it can go to YouTube. Right now, I'm doing all of those manually, but I couldn't figure out, and I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually, but I couldn't figure out how to do it properly, and it wasn't working 100%. But when I look back at it, I'm like, man, that was 4 hours of my time on something that's technically low value because it really doesn't take me that much time to push it out. So I'm spending time, 4 hours, to eventually save me maybe 15 minutes of time. Maybe it wasn't worth it, but you get the idea. Those low value tasks, spending hours organizing email box, constantly tweaking your website, those are the things that, does it really make a difference at the end of the day? The value is really in those partnerships you make, the collaborations you make, the relationships you make, not of how big or where your things are adjusted on your website. To write down your top 3 high value and top 3 low value tasks, and then plan your week around the high value ones first, leaving the low value ones to when you can get to them, if you can get to them. For more information on this, check out episode 182 that we did just last week, where we covered identifying those tasks. Go back and listen if you missed it, so you know the tasks that we're talking about, and then you can start kind of grouping them into high value and low value activities, so you could start deciding which ones you need to push aside for a little bit and put the high value ones up and prioritize those. The second step here is to use the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize tasks. The Eisenhower matrix is a simple tool that helps you categorize tasks based on urgency and importance. It stops you from spending time on urgent but non-essential tasks while neglecting your long-term priorities. So, examples here, we've got a couple categories in this Eisenhower matrix. So urgent and important. These are client deadlines, revenue generating activities. Those are the ones that should be priority. There's important, but not urgent. The long-term business growth, this content creation, networking, those you don't want to ignore, but they're not like, okay, pressing deadlines right now. Then there's the urgent, actually not important. Answering every email immediately. Last-minute social media post. We feel like they're urgent, but they're not really important. And if you didn't do it or you waited 24 hours, nothing would change. And then the last one is it's neither urgent nor important. This is excessive admin work, tasks that don't drive results. We want to make sure that we get rid of those completely if possible, delegate them if they're absolutely necessary, but if they're bogging you down and bogging your time down. So your action step here is to take today's to-do list, whatever to-do list you have today, look at it and categorize each task into one of these 4 boxes. Move non-essential tasks lower on your priority list and start to focus on those urgent and important tasks. All right, so step 3 is set a top 3 focus for each day. Instead of juggling 20 things at once, choose 3 key tasks per day that will have the biggest impact. This method helps you to stay focused and ensure you always make meaningful progress every day. If your business goal is to sign more clients, then your top 3 for the day might look like sending 3 follow-up emails, creating a social media post that highlights your offer, and reviewing your sales funnel. So your action step here is to each morning write down the 3 key activities that will move your business forward that day. Now, it doesn't mean that all the other tasks get ignored, you don't do them, but it's making sure that those top 3 get done first, get the most attention and focus, and then everything else gets done as you can. Your action step, write down 3 key activities that will move your business forward today. Coming up next week in episode 184, we're going to be talking about streamlining your operations to make prioritization even easier. So look forward to that. And so the last step today is to set boundaries to protect your focus. Distractions and interruptions can quickly derail your productivity. Setting clear boundaries protects your time and your energy. Without boundaries, it's easy to spend your entire day reacting instead of making progress and being proactive on high priority tasks. So examples here is set some deep work hours. Choose 2 to 3 hours daily to really focus on work with no interruptions. Turn off notifications, do what you need to do, silence your phone, but set that time to be able to just keep your head down and focused. And then you can also use time blocks. You can schedule specific times for you to be able to check email, or specific times to work on client work, or it's a specific time to do admin instead of multitasking and bouncing back and forth between everything. And then this is my favorite. This example here is my favorite, is to say no more often. Decline meetings or commitments that don't technically align with your priorities. This is why having your priorities set ahead of time and being clear on them for yourself is so important. If you don't know where your main business goals are right now, that means everything that comes your way is a potential priority for you, and that can cause chaos, burnout, and stress. So set some goals for yourself. Build those priorities around those goals and say no to anything that doesn't align with those priorities right now. Maybe it's a no, not right now. Maybe it's not a no forever, but right now, if it doesn't align with what you're doing, it should be a no. All right, so your action step here is to identify one boundary you'll set this week to protect your time and keep you focused. Prioritizing isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things. So by identifying your high-value tasks, using tools like the Eisenhower matrix to rank priorities, choosing a top 3 focus each day, and setting boundaries to protect your time, you're going to be able to work smarter, not harder, and see bigger results in your business. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in today. Next week, we're going to be diving into how to streamline your operations for maximum efficiency so you can free up time, reduce stress, and focus on what really matters the most. And don't forget, summer, this is the perfect time to prepare for the fall. Usually we have a big fall launch. So whether you need support through the Empower Her Mastermind, the digital package, Power Sessions, or the full Empower Her program, we're here for you at any point wherever you are in the path. So check out the link in the show notes to learn more about the Empower Her program and where you can jump in. And until next time, keep shining. And remember, when you prioritize what truly matters, success follows.